Welcome to Elegant Themes using the localization feature. In this video tutorial, you will learn how to use localization to translate your theme into various languages. We will use the professional theme for this tutorial. However, the process is the same for all Elegant themes. Please keep in mind that your screen may look different depending on your browser and whether you are using a PC or a Mac. For this demonstration, I am using a Mac running the latest version of the Firefox browser. Before we begin, it is important that you have downloaded the most current version of your theme. If you look in the main theme structure, you will see a folder called LANG, or language. If you do not see this folder, you will need to download and install the most current version of your theme. Updating your theme is beyond the scope of this tutorial. However, please visit the Elegant Theme support forums should you require assistance. By default, Elegant Themes provides 3 languages: English, German, and Russian. Although these are the default languages that ship with Elegant Themes, translating your theme into the language of your choice is not difficult to do. Now, let's navigate back to the language folder. If we double-click on it, we are presented with a total of 6 files. These are the default languages I mentioned earlier. For the language file to work properly, there must be a PO, or portable object file, and an MO file, or machine object file. We are going to work with the most basic functionality of the language files. The terminology, details, and how they work is beyond the scope of this tutorial. However, I encourage you to visit the link below, which outlines localization in great detail. Since Elegant Themes already has Russian as one of the choices, all we need to do is copy the language code. And now, head over to our wp-config.php file. Within the wp-config.php file, we need to navigate to the line that defines the language currently being used. If we look to the right of the wp-lang text, we see a double quote, which is currently empty. Since the default language is English, there is no need for any codes. However, to translate the site to Russian, we will need to use the code we copied from the lang folder. Now that the language code is in place, we simply need to save this file and return to our site to see the changes. As we can see, the site is now translated into Russian. Since you will be translating the copy into your native language, posts and pages will remain in English. What has visibly changed are Home, Search, and the Read More button, among others. Another change is the posted byline, as you can see here. Suppose your language is not one of the 3 available. Not a problem. First, you would need to find your language code. This can be accomplished by visiting the link below. I will show you how to create your own .mo and .po files using a program called PoEdit. Keep in mind that PoEdit is a very powerful tool with many options, so I am only going to cover the basics. For more detailed instructions, please visit the PoEdit site at the URL listed below. The first step is to find your language code, which we discussed earlier. When opening PoEdit, you will be taken through a series of screens asking for pieces of information which will help create the correct code. The last screen you will see is the Translate screen, shown here. The left column is the current language, which in our case is English, and the right side is the translation column. In its most basic form, PoEdit gives you common phrases, which you will need to translate into your language. Simply type the equivalent phrases in your language using the lower box. This will populate the right column as shown here. And this is what a completed window looks like. Once you have completed these steps, choose Save to create the files needed for the wp-config.php file. Make sure the files saved are in the correct format. For example, if you were translating to Romania, you would name the files as shown here, making sure the .po and .mo extensions are present. Another example would be English, as shown here, again making sure the .po and .mo extensions are present. The only thing left to do is change the language code in the wp-config file as discussed previously. As I mentioned earlier, this is a very brief overview of PoEdit. I highly suggest visiting the site to learn the nuts and bolts of this program. This concludes using the localization feature tutorial. As always, if you should have further questions, please visit the Elegant Theme forums where our friendly and knowledgeable moderators are standing by to lend a hand. Thank you and have a successful day.